We've got young blood, can't destroy us.
Hi loveys, welcome to Do What You Love. So a couple days ago I posted a video, Tour My Books, which was a video all about my bookshelves and my obsession with books. And in that video I asked you loveys that if you would like to know more about how I became an author and maybe do a quick look through my scrapbook, to let me know down in the comments. And some of you guys commented not only on that particular video, but you also commented on my Instagram. So with that being said, I'm going to do a quick explanation of why I chose to become an author and do a quick flip through of my scrapbook. So my goal for this video is for it to be short and not talk your ear off. I promise I'm really going to try. So most of you probably know that I've wanted to be an author since a little girl, since I read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. It was always my goal. I always wanted to be an author, a writer. My dream was to move to Africa and write articles and live amongst the lions and have cats and never get married and just be a journalist and write books and all of that good stuff that young people think they're going to do when they're young and all of this stuff. Well, then life happened. I met my husband, I got pregnant at 17, I became a teen mom, and life just went on from there. We got married and it was all about house and baby and children, and then 4 years later my daughter was born and I became an at-home mom, and then we decided that homeschooling would be best for our children and things like that. So in an essence, if you just want to put it, life got in the way. I became a mom, and that became everything that I was, and everything that I wanted to do, that I wanted to inspire to be, so to speak, as a young girl, just kind of got pushed on the back burner because my children and my home and my husband and things became number one, which I absolutely believe they should be. Your family should be number one. So that just kind of became my life. And then in 2012, on July 3rd, one night while we were watching fireworks, because it was the 4th of July weekend, I got a phone call in the middle of the fireworks that I needed to hurry up and get to the hospital, that something was wrong with my father. So when we got there, we found out that he was actually at a movie with his girlfriend. My parents got divorced many years ago, and he was at a movie. I think he was going to see The Incredible Spider-Man, something like that. And while he was at the movie theater, he told his girlfriend that he couldn't breathe, so he needed to get some air, so he stepped out, and when he got into the lobby, he kind of just collapsed. So they evacuated the movie theater because they didn't know what was wrong, because when he came out, he kind of like banged on the chest of the guy who takes your tickets and directs you to what movie theater to go to, because he was kind of panicking. He couldn't breathe. And they didn't know if something was in the air or something was going on. So they evacuated the movie theater, called the ambulance. It took 45 minutes to get him back, and then he died again in the way en route to the hospital, but they got him back again, and then called us in and told us that the top part of his heart kind of exploded, and the bottom part of his heart was just kind of like in fib, and that if he did pull through, he would need a heart transplant. His heart was gone. That was July 3rd. A couple days, he didn't make any improvement. He was on life support. They were giving him the max medicine that they could give him, and his nurse, who I love and I appreciate, I don't even know if she ever told me her name, because I never left the hospital those 4 days, so there was many shifts of nurse, but this one particular nurse, she came beside me one time when I was allowed in to see my dad, which was only for 5 minutes and like only 3 times a day. She came in and stood beside me one day, and she goes, it may take years for your father to get a heart, and you need to think about your dad's quality of life. He went twice, about 45 minutes each time without any oxygen, and you need to think about when we trach him and he leaves here and goes to the nursing home and goes on the waiting list to get a heart, what kind of quality life he is going to have. He was only 53. So from that point on, we began discussing as a family what we were going to do, and we made the hardest decision ever and that was to take him off life support and let him go. So on July 5th, about quarter to midnight, we let my dad go. And that was one of the absolute hardest things I have ever had to do, ever. And a lot of the pressure was on me because I was executor of his will, because my parents were divorced and I was his oldest child. Yes, we made the decision as a family, but it almost felt like all the pressure was on my shoulders. But we were all in agreement that that's what we needed to do for my dad. We were with him throughout the whole thing. I held his hand as he took his last breaths and things like that. And it's something that will stay with me forever. And it drastically changed my life, needless to say. So after the grieving process, my dad's death really affected me as a child to see even though I was an adult, to see your adult father, your parent, in such a helpless state, especially being a daughter with a father who you think is invincible. You think your dad is just invincible. He's your dad. And nothing can touch him, nothing can hurt him. And to see him in that state and be helpless and basically dying, this light bulb, whatever you want to call it, just kind of went off in my head. And I'm just like, wow, you just truly never know. You just truly never know when the last is going to be the last, and what's going to happen in between your first breath and your last breath. And what happens between your first breath and your last breath is what matters. And that is what inspired me to pursue my dreams, to not allow my dreams to pass me by, because tomorrow is not promised. That is the absolute truth. My dad was out on a date. They went to Texas Roadhouse and pigged out on steak and had buns, and then he was taking his girlfriend to the movies, and he didn't even get past the credits, and his life was kind of over. So you just don't know. And those thoughts did not allow me to sleep. They plagued me at night. I just could not allow my dream of being an author to pass me by. I just couldn't. I just can't live with myself, and it wouldn't leave me alone. So a couple months after my dad passed away, I just sat down at my computer and it felt like I never got back up until the book was finished. I worked at that thing for hours when my children were in school, because my children are cyber schooled, so I have a lot to do with their schooling, but when they're in their cyber classes, that's very quiet because they have a headset on and they're like one-on-one with the teacher, like in a cyber classroom. So in those moments, I took that time and I just plugged away until the book was written. And then the publishing part started, which was a whole brand new world to me. I'm just an at-home mom who homeschools her kid, and kids had no idea what my phones are going off, sorry, what publishing and all that was going to be like. So I looked into some publishing companies. I got signed on. Someone took me in. My first publishing company, when they started to edit my book, told me that I wasn't the right fit for them because of some of the things that were in my book. So they took me over to another publishing company, which was Balboa. Balboa loved it. They signed me on. First of all, the number one thing that most people think is when you become an author that you are paid to give them your book. No. I thought that my whole life as well. No, when you are a brand new author and publishers are taking a chance on you, you have to pay for your book to get published. You have to pay for the cover art. You have to pay for the printing. You have to pay for the editing, and editing is expensive. I wrote a 300 and some plus page book. It was like $5,000 to get it edited. It's a big deal. So that publishing thing was, whoa. It took me by surprise. It was such a long process. It takes 4 to 6 months to get a book going because it has to be edited, put together, you have to get them mass produced. They have to go to the, the machine that prints them, the printer machine. Then you got to get them distributed. They go live online before you actually get a physical book, which was the hardest thing in the world for me because my book was out there, but you can only get it online before I could actually hold it in my hand, and that drove me absolutely crazy. Just things like that. So, make a long story short, My father is the real reason that I picked up my dream and went for it. It was also the reason I named my book Dreams. I have it right here. My very first book I named Dreams, but it is the Burning Trilogy. There is three books to this, but I wanted my first book to be called Dreams, and every time I sign a book I always put in there, your dreams can come true, because it is the absolute truth. I want to encourage anybody, don't let things, because let me tell you, I got so discouraged after I wrote this and decided to go through with it the whole way, get it to a publisher, the whole thing. I got discouraged so many times on the way, through money. My first publisher who took me on, who said the book was great, then got into it and was like, you're not a good fit. We're going to try to give you over to another one, waiting to see if another publishing company would take me on. I got discouraged through so many things. Then the naysayers come in, like, which you're your own worst naysayer. But other people come in like, that's too much money. Are you really going to do anything with it? Blah, 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 blah. And then you get doubt in your head. So many things come against you when you try to make your dreams come true. But I would not allow it. I had my moments. I shed tears. But I kept at it. Like, this is going to happen. If nobody but 15 people, and all 15 people are my own family members, like my book, it doesn't matter to me. Nobody can take away from me that I am a published author. If these books never go any further than 100 people have them on their shelf, I don't care. I am a published author. I achieved my dream. That's all that matters to me. Would I like these books to be like popular or made into a movie and stuff? Oh my goodness, who wouldn't want that? But in the end, my dreams came true, and I just want to encourage all of you, your dreams can come true. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of effort. You can't stop. You definitely can't listen to the naysayers. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dream. Believe in that thing that was just kind of deposited into you. And don't stop until it becomes a reality, because it's the greatest thing in the world. So, I think I talked enough about that. I just wanted to share with you, that is the reason I wanted to become a published author. In my later life, I became, let's see, I'm 36 now. This book came out in 2013. So I became a published author when I was like 34. But I wanted to do it way back when I was like 12. I wanted to go right out of high school and do books and things like that. But like I said, life got in the way. But my father's death is what re-inspired me that your dreams are important. They're part of who you are. And there's nothing like anything in this world achieving that something so deep down inside of you that you're like, I know I can do this. I know this is what I want to do. I know that this is who I am, so to speak. Don't let anybody stand in the way. Go for it. Do it. So, I probably talked longer than I should have, and I apologize for that. So, let's do a quick flip through my scrapbook. And my scrapbook is just kind of like a short little journey of, you know, me working on the book, what it looked like on the computer, to my release, to some book signings. And I'm going to end the video there. Before we look at the scrapbook, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope it inspires you. I really, really do. I really want to inspire people. It doesn't matter who you are, what your circumstance are. I'm just an at-home mom who is not wealthy by any means, who loves her family and just wanted to be an author. And my husband supported me through it all. My family supported me through it all. It is so important to have supporters and not listen to the naysayers and those who say you can't because of circumstances or the way you look or your skin color or your place of living, like you're here, you're there. There's so many things that you wouldn't even think of that people say to you why you can't achieve your dream. That is bull dinky. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Here I am preaching again, gonna stop. So, I'm going to say goodbye now. We're going to look at the scrapbook. So I just wanted to encourage you, chase after your dreams. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy my little scrapbook. I worked hard on it. It's very special to me. And I shall see you guys in another video. If you're new to Do What You Love, this is not my norm. This was kind of requested, so I'm just fulfilling you loveys' wishes because I'm all about my loveys. I want to make you guys happy. I love making videos that you guys request because I hope it makes you happy. And I hope you stick around and subscribe and be part of the Lovey family. And I will chit chat at you guys soon. Bye! Okay guys, this is my scrapbook. I took all of the pages out of this because, you know, they're in that plastic film. Let me show you. You know, that plastic film, see the big glare? So I took them all out of this so you guys can see them without that horrible glare. Okay, so this is the first page of the scrapbook, and it's just my author picture, which took me forever to pick out. And it just says, once upon a time, I had a dream to be an author. And that starts the first page of my scrapbook. There's still a little bit of a glare, I apologize. But this is the second page, and it says the production of dreams. And what you're seeing here is what the book actually looked like. I'll pick it up. This is what it looks like when they send it to you through the computer. This is how you view your book, which is really weird to see it like that. But that's how they send it to you through your publisher, to overview it, to see what the pages look like, to see the font, the headers. And then up here are my cover sign-offs and my galley sign-offs, which means I actually signed off on the book and it was ready to be published. So this was a very exciting day. I'll never forget that. May 28th, 2014, my books arrived. I think there was, if I remember correctly, 6 boxes. I think I ordered 150 books for my book launch. That was a super exciting day. I'll never forget when the brown man, the UPS man, pulled in my driveway and he had to use a dolly to bring in all my boxes of books. So this is just Dreams Arrival. I'll hold it up so the glare is gone. Look at all them boxes. That is my kitchen table. It was full of books for my book launch. Very cool day. May 28th, 2014. This is the first time I ever held my book. Super cool. I can't tell you. It's something that you have to experience. It's something that's a little difficult to explain. But holding your book in your hand is completely different than writing it. Seeing it in its finished product and opening the pages and seeing it like actually in book form, that is such a surreal moment. It's very cool. That's all I know how to explain it. It's very cool. I'll hold the page up so the glare's gone. But that was the day my book arrived. Yes, these are the moments we live for. Dreams really do come true. I know there's still a little bit of a glare. I apologize for that. But on June 7th was my book launch. And a book launch is kind of like where you have a big party and you invite a whole bunch of people at a public place and you do a book signing and a book reading and things like that. So I did it at my local library. They were sweet enough to host my book launch. I read the first chapter of my book and we had food and all that kind of stuff and a big table set up where I did a whole bunch of book signings. And of course, family and friends came. People from downstairs that were just in the library that day came up. It was just a really cool day. And I thought the perfect place to have a book launch was at the library. And I was super excited that my local library allowed me to do it there. And I'll hold up that so the glare is gone. And that's me sitting below. There was actually a stage. The room that they put us in actually had a stage. So I actually got to read my first chapter of my book on a stage behind a podium. So that was pretty cool. But that's me sitting below the stage signing books. This page is just a simple page, but I wanted to document what everything looked like. And I had such great friends that day who came early. My mom, my husband, some of my girlfriends came and helped me. And we got black and red tablecloths because the book is mostly black and red balloons. And they helped me with the food. We had so much food. And then they set up this whole little thing down below here, which I know there's a terrible glare. See the green in the background? That is the stage, and they set up my whole table below it, and they put up my books and bought balloons, and my husband had that big poster made in the back, and my bookmarks and all that stuff. So it was just an awesome, awesome day, and I had so much help, and I was so thankful. This was actually one of the ladies that I'm talking about. Her name is Jen. She's one of my close friends. She was absolutely fantastic. She had black and red napkins embroidered with my name in the title. I actually saved some, so here's one. See, she had them embroidered, Dreams, Missy Reynolds. And she also had, which was a complete surprise, the napkins were over the top. She also brought in at the end, she had a cake made to look just like my book for my launch. I mean, she went all out. She made my day so special. I couldn't believe it. So I dedicated a whole page to her because that was such an awesome, awesome thing. And there's a close-up of the cake. Is it not cool? It looks just like the cover. That was incredible. And then I took a picture of the napkins on the table. That was such an awesome, awesome thing she did. That just made the day so much more special. I will never forget that. So this is me actually at the book launch signing some books. I had a nice little line. That was such an exciting day. I think I signed over 30, 40 books. I can't even remember now. It's been so long, but I was there for quite some time. This is just me with some of the people that came that day that I signed books for. Some people, this is my daughter. She couldn't wait to get my book. Just some friends and family and pictures of me sitting behind there getting ready to sign books. Just special pictures that are special to me. And here are a few more from that day. Just some special people. She's so funny. She always says she's my #1 fan. She was so sweet. So I just included where the book was started from, which that's what it looked like on the computer, to somebody else actually holding it in their hands, which I thought was just incredible. So, and reading is awesome. So this was one of my book signings. I believe this was in July. I was at a mall and there was a bookstore in the mall and they set me out right in the front as you would walk in the door, which was crazy because, you know, book people are cool. Book people totally understand why you're doing that. But sitting in the front, in the entrance to the mall, everybody that walked past the bookstore who don't dig books were like, what is this girl doing? But I did it nonetheless. I sat there for 2 hours. So that's me sitting there. My husband took up a close-up of me because he said I was just so happy that day. I know there was a horrible glare. I'm so sorry. And then I included this picture that I took that was one of my postcards and how I signed it and things like that. And that was just a very cool day. I sold 5 books that day, signed 5 books. One was for I believe he was 12 years old. He was so excited over this. So he thought it was awesome to actually meet an author, and he loved books. So that was a really cool day. This was actually another book signing that I did at our local flea market. This was so funny, guys. I just popped the hood. As you can see, there's my car. Me and my husband made big signs, come meet the author of Dreams. We hung them off my car. We had a big stand. We put a table out. I actually did a giveaway that day. So there was like a little jar, as you can see it sitting right here on my table with tickets. And whoever walked past, they gave me $2 for a ticket. They were putting in the jar. And at the end of the day, I raffled off this basket, which was full of summer things because Dreams takes place during the summer, so I thought it was a cool correlation to give away a summer basket with a good read for a book. So it was called A Book by the Pool. So you got like a beach towel, you know, your cups, goggles for the pool, a big pool koozie, and sunscreen. So that's what I did. So I had a good time that day. Yes, I know that's a big picture of a shark, but I made the local paper, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. This was Friday, August 1st, 2014, in our Herald Standard. I made the newspaper. It is actually, here's another one of them napkins, actually right here, called the Go Bookshelf. I was featured first. They told me in this article here that I was an up-and-coming author, and they called this a supernatural thriller. The author of this, whoever wrote this in the paper. I bought 3 or 4 newspapers that day, so I kept one whole and then I cut one out and actually glued it into the book. This is actually another book signing that I did. I did this at a firehouse. If I hold this up, you probably can see all the fire gear in the back. This was a really cool book signing. That day we had a huge flood and the firehouse actually got completely flooded out, but they held the book signing anyways. So that was such a neat day. And then I just wanted to memorialize in the book as well that my husband went out of his way to make this big poster, which is basically like the cover of my book with my logo, which is Two Ordinary Teens Become Extraordinary When the Super Meets the Natural. And he had it framed so that I could take it to all of my book signings with me because he's just so sweet. He's my biggest supporter. This was a really cool day. Me and my sister were hanging out and being goofy and shopping. And I believe we were at some mall. I don't even remember what mall it was now. This was some time ago. And that's why we took this picture. We were goofing off and we went into the bookstore that was down at the end of the mall. And I saw my book on the bookshelves for the very first time. And I was like freaking out in the bookstore. That is another really surreal moment when you're cruising the bookstore looking for your favorite kind of books and you see your book. That is totally crazy. So I added this picture because she's the one who took the picture. We were together that day being goofy, you know, like sisters do. And that day was just awesome to see my book on the shelves in another bookstore. That was cool. So this page is just to memorialize dreams that I did it. That is the book and the postcards that I ordered and the bookmark and my signature. I just wanted to put that in there. You know, this is how I always signed and sent everything. Dreams do come true. That's my signature. And I just wanted to put that in there because I thought that was a really cool picture. So I just wanted to show you real quick. This is what the bookmark looks like. Super proud of these. That's what it looks like. And then they gave me a whole bunch of postcards to like invite people, send things out. That's the actual one that I signed. So I thought those were really cool. So I just thought I'd share them with you because, you know, it's memorabilia from your first book. August of 2015, I finally got the cover choice for Waiting. It had to be revised like 3 times. This was the final look of the front and back cover of Waiting. It went live and I could not wait to get it in my hands. I was like, I cannot wait to hold this book. But I absolutely love the cover for Waiting. You have to read the book to understand, but this is the House of Weeds, and it was so hard to find a yellow dingy house in a field of yellow dandelions. It was so difficult, but we made it work. We got it, and then that was the back, and I actually changed my author picture for this one. And then my handle on this one is Two Peculiar Teens Alter Lives When the Unseen World is Seen. September 15th, 2015, Waiting arrived at my house. Here's the boxes. Again, 5 boxes. I got over 100 books and super excited. Oh my gosh, holding your book in your hand is so surreal. I actually did a video of this. I can link it down below when I opened up Waiting. So cool. So very cool. But September 15th, awesome day, awesome day. This is actually my last page in my photo album, and it just says, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. My dream of becoming an author has come true. Now I'm looking forward to the journey that is ahead of me. And I just put the 2 of my books together, and I'm super proud of them. I don't know what else to say about them. They're Christian fiction. They call them a supernatural thriller, but there is some Christian elements to it. You know, it has everything in it, though. It has demons and angels and warlocks and all murder and all that kind of stuff. It's a very suspenseful, that's why they call it a supernatural thriller, but it does have some Christian elements in it. My new novels, I just want to say, they're going to be completely different. I am a Christian, so I want to dedicate my first work to who I believe the Lord is, and I just believe your first fruit should be His, so that's why I did like a Christian fiction trilogy. But my next work is going to be completely different. It's going to be YA, of course, but it's going to be probably very high fantasy. love fantasy books, but I really, really wanted to dedicate my first books to the Lord and what I was dealing with in the moment about losing your father. And one of the main characters in the book, Bastion is his name, he lost his father through murder, and I felt like I can relate to those characters and things like that. You have to read the book to understand. It's so weird, I have to tell you guys, it's very weird to talk about your own book. It really is. It's so easy to give a review of somebody else's book, but your own book, because you're your own worst critic. I get so critical over these. A lot of people ask, what is your books about? It's about Margot and Bastion from two different worlds. Margot's from Jersey, Bastion's from Tennessee, and Bastion moved to New Jersey to escape some horrific things that had happened. His father was murdered, and the man who murdered his father is hunting him and his mother. You have to read the book to understand why. So you're dealing with a lot of things from the occult and the things that warlocks can kind of do in the supernatural, and it's basically a story about good versus evil, and the book is written in a way where you have to make a choice what you believe in and what you think. And it's Margot and Bastion's journey to finding good in the bad, and if they actually believe in the good versus the bad that's happened to them. And Margot has dreams of her hands burning almost every night, and she doesn't understand what the purpose of that is for. And the trilogy is a journey to finding out why she dreams of her hands burning. I think that is the best way that I can describe what the trilogy is about. So, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't talk your ear off. I hope this wasn't boring. I'm so glad that you guys are interested in my life and asked to, know a little bit more about my journey of becoming an author and my books. And that means so much to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. If you're new to my channel, this is something that is very different for me. I don't normally talk about my books or anything like that. My channel, Do What You Love, is mostly dedicated to hauls and DT and DIYs and cooking and things like that. But this was requested by one of my loveys, and I love you guys, so I feel like you're my friends. So whatever request I try to give you. Thank you so much for being interested in my life again. That means so much to me. I welcome you guys to the channel. I ask that you subscribe and stick around and stay for all the good stuff, and I will be back another day with another video. I will chit chat at you then, guys. Bye.